name is Omar Blanco, and for my self-directed learning project, I decided to do a Udemy course on basic HTML and CSS. Now, when this project came about, I was very excited because I had two options. I could either expand my knowledge on something I already knew about or learn something completely new. And I decided to go with that. I wanted to be able to build my own websites from scratch. And what other way to do that than to learn the fundamentals? And that's exactly what I got out of this Udemy course. Think of it as an introduction to web design. Now, I'm very excited to share my experience and my journey with you all.
So here we are on the course's homepage. And I just wanted to give everybody a rundown of how the course is organized and basically what I went through doing this course. So it's really split up into two big sections, HTML and CSS. The first one just teaches you very basic HTML organized into different sections. Then it goes into CSS, intermediate CSS. Then it gives you responsive web design, Flexbox, so on and so forth. It just takes a deep dive into learning a lot of these concepts. So let's look at some of the code that I actually got to write. So I was able to use this program to code along with the class, and this program is called Visual Studio Code. Now, as you can see, it starts off very basic. I was able to do some basic HTML here with a sample page, headings, forms. I entitled a few different ones here. This is just a first name, last name, a set of operations, tables, and lists. I was able to go through these things and learn the general concepts on how to create basic websites. Now, what I want to show you next is how these websites translate with the way you or I would view them using basic web browsers. So in this course, I was able to follow along and write my own lines of code with what the videos were showing me. So here in Visual Studio Code, you see different web pages that I've created. Now, it was really neat to see these web pages get updated in real time, and it was very simple to do that. So for example, this sample page here, all I had to do was drag and drop it to my web browser, and I'm able to see what my website is looking like from the point of view of my audience or consumer. And here's another one. Here are tables. I'm just going to show you guys real quick all of the websites, or most of them, that we created. And they're very basic. And a lot of what HTML is just basic text. It's a lot of just basic text, basically the rundown of what you see when you first log in to a website, which is very cool to see of how things came to be. Now, let's take a deep dive into CSS, the second half.
So I'm not gonna lie, it was very challenging to get through this course simply because there was so much new information that I didn't know if I could keep up. There was a lot of me going back and reviewing the code and seeing if I could try this on my own, doing different code challenges. It was very interesting, but at the same time, it was a little bit difficult to get through. So you got to see right now basic HTML, and now I'm going to show you how really we spice things up with adding CSS and styling full web pages.
So now we get to the fun stuff. CSS, designing the web page, adding color to these websites, adding animations, adding different things to these websites to really make them come alive. Real quick, I want to show you the progression. This is how it all started. Simple, just text, writing the first few lines of code. Then got a little more intricate, adding a little bit more, a link. Then we actually had to write the HTML code plus the CSS code. All of the CSS code styles everything. So we take what we wrote over here and style it here. And I want to show you exactly what that looks like. So here is one of the final web pages. You can see there's a lot going on here from what we first saw. We have pictures, we have different animations when you hover over, and we have different animations when you hover over certain pictures. It was really cool to follow along and be able to create something that was original with the help of this course, but I got to say, I learned a lot.
So all in all, my experience in this course was very positive. I got to learn a lot about myself as well. Could I handle learning something absolutely brand new? And the answer is yes. Now, I'm not the world's best coder and designing websites left and right, but I have a basic understanding of what it is to design websites from scratch. So my next steps are to practice a bunch, get to it and start learning these concepts like the back of my hand. And I'm very excited to do that. I'll also be taking a few more Udemy courses to further expand my knowledge on these fundamental skills. On top of that, one of my career goals is to become an instructional designer and take me knowing how to do HTML, CSS, front-end web development, and incorporate that into trainings that I make for future employers. Thank you very much.